Hello YouTube, and welcome to our 70th Unity 3D tutorial. 30 more than we're on 100, big 100. We need to think of something big to do for that. But like I said last tutorial, this tutorial is going to be something cool what a few people have suggested. We're going to start making it so you can customise your character. So like choose a body type, choose helmet, cape and stuff, then release him into the game so you can run around as him. So it should be really cool. So in this first tutorial, I'm going to be modelling the whole scene, putting the characters in, putting where it is, and then the next couple of tutorials, because there's a lot of programming involved, we'll sit programming it, and then we'll like implement it to our game, so it'll work. In this tutorial, it's going to be purely modelling it, so it's not going to be very hard. So what we're going to do is, can we use this scene now? We'll create a new scene, and we'll call this, we'll just save it first. Save, and we'll save it in our levels, and we'll call this character customization. I can't spell that. I'll spell check that when I'm off video. But yeah, so we've got character spelled the wrong customization. So let's add a floor to it. So I'm just going to add a cube again because we use cubes easiest. So I'm going to say, well, let's think of the stages we need. First we need to choose your body type, so do you want to be a woman, a man, then the next one, small, big or large, so that's 2. So if we said 20 each, so that's 20, 40, so far we're on 40, that's 49. We need vests or armor body vests, so that's 60, legs, head, misc, so like cape and stuff, and then in fact we'll make cape and stuff into body, but then we need stats like name and stuff, so 120 for 20 for each spot, so we've got quite a good character customization. 0.1 floor size, and this can be 20 large. So if we look at that, we've got a nice long plane what we can just move up and down. So my plan is to look at it from the side. When you click a button and you click next, it moves down, then moves down, then moves down, then moves down, till you get to the end. So have we got any concrete textures? Because this would look nice on concrete. There we go. And that looks nice. So it looks a bit weird with 32, but it'll do. Let's add some walls to it. Let's go with our default cube wall. So we already know the first scale is 120 by 10, then 3. So we can go up top, and we can move both of these to 0 so we don't have that mess again. 0, 0, 0. And then all we have to do is move this back by 5 or 10. 10. It did nothing. 10. There we go. So let's add a brick texture to that. And when it stops, and we'll move it up 5 purely because it's wrong. There we go, and make it thinner. That'll do. So we have our wall. Let's duplicate it, and let's squash it down. So we need 1. I don't know, 20. That's too big. So 10 there, 20 there. There we go. So now we move it all the way to the end here. So there, so 60, half minus 60 off 120. So we have that. And that is wrong. There we go. So if we duplicate that again, Control D, and we can move it down to the 60 end. So now we have 3 walls surrounding it, so when the camera's looking here, you won't be able to see outside of it. So let's send our brick texture to all that. Do we have a brick texture yet? So select all 3 and just drag and drop the texture. Click. Click. Ouch, that looks awful. Let's assign that to it. That still looks bad. So let's click our texture, let's go make a new material to make it look better. So in walls, I'm just going to delete them. They're from a previous tutorial which messed up. I'm going to create a new material and I'll just call it 120 wall. So we'll assign the brick texture to it, and the reason we're making new material is because then we can edit what scale size it is. So now it's 120 wall. We can say 100, 10. What's 10 look like? 10 looks rather nice. I'll keep 10. So as you can see, it now looks nice, but the side ones, well, this one doesn't have anything on it. So let's just make a material for that, and we'll call it, what size were these? I believe it was 20 wool. Assign a brick texture, assign it to that, and let's name some of these first. Flue, floor, and then wall. But we'll name it properly. So, back wall. Imagine if we're looking at it from the front, this would be the right wall, and this would be the left wall, like so. So you can click the left and right wall, assign the 21 to it, and that looks fine. And as you can see, they intersect so nicely. So we could mess with the offsets, but then like this one here intersects, and like it'd just mess up if we did that. So we'll just leave it. You won't be paying attention to that anyway. So let's position our camera. So we get our main camera and we drag it all the way across here to about there. In fact, let's see, we'll do it at -60, which looks awful. So now we'll move it in 10. There we go, perfect. So if we play with the numbers, we'll get a smooth transition. So we can pull that out a little bit. Yeah, and then we can move it up as well. Move it up, rotate it down. I'm just looking at a little camera preview here, just to see what it looks like. And now can we move it out? Yeah. And then what we can do is just make this back wall bigger. We can make all three walls bigger actually. So if we just change their height to say 15, and then move them up by 10, wait, 7.5, there we go. Now if we look at the game, as you can see, even if we maximise it, you can just see the game view. However, we need some lights. So I'm going to go for the default spotlight one. I'll get a lamp texture in it so we can use that. So I'm going to go spotlight, and we'll just make it bigger and longer. If we were to bring that back here, then like point it that way. Okay, that way then. What's that look like? Perfect. Looks like a grimy kind of you are in the light thing kind of thing. Yeah. So if we just like put all these walls into the back wall so that we can't mess with them because they were taking up a bit of space. And we'll just keep these named as spotlight, and we'll just even these out. So -50, 15, and -5. Then we can duplicate this using Control D, move it across, say 20. Well, what's -30 look like? Yeah, that looks fine. So we'll just move it down 20 each until we get to the right place. So this will be 10 and 30 and 50. So that's a glitch in Unity's lighting system that some of them shut off, but it will still light it up basically. I don't know why it does that, but I think it's just a glitch because it's done that for ages. I think it means too many lights, but you can't have too many lights. Yeah. So, yeah, just messing around with things. So we need to now make a way for the character to move down all these. We could have it so, let's just turn this light off so it don't mess with us. We could have it so like when we click he walks to the next one, but we both know we can't make walking yet. It's a possibility for the future, but I'm just going to go with a treadmill effect. So he stood on a treadmill, and then we like play a sound of like what a treadmill makes. I don't know. We'll do an escalator kind of thing, because they make different types. And then we could just like have him move down, like give him a little nudge effect or something simple. So for this escalator for now, because I haven't got one, I'm just going to use a cube. I'm going to stretch it not 120, but then again not exactly small. So 100, that should do. And the deepness should be 0.3, then we'll say 4, that'll do. And because now we can move it back and see how it needs to be bigger than that. So we can try 110. What's that look like on here? Character will be stood there. Could be bigger. Let's try 115. That'll do. We'll need it to be thicker though. 5, 8, 9. It'll just be one thickness. Because then if we go to the side here, you can see we can move it up. So I'll say about 0.5. There we go. That'll do. Because then what we'll do is when I model it, I'll make the inside of that like dinted down, so like it looks like a real treadmill. So we've got that going on. So we're going to put our character in now. So our character's going to stand here. So the best way to do this is to save this scene and then load up our level 1, which will take a while. And when it loads, there we go. So we can click our character. We have him here. We will need to strip him of his manlyhood. Has he got a texture? Yeah. It looked like he was naked then. But yeah, so we need a new prefab. So do we already have one? We do. So we must have made that a while ago. So if we assign that to him, there. So now we can just skip out of this one and jump back to our character customization. And jump back to our cube, which should be named Treadmill. I don't know what to call it. I can't spell escalator, so I'm going to call it Treadmill, even though it's not a treadmill. A treadmill's something you run on. But yeah. So we've got that. It's here. So let's see. Let's drag our character on. Ooh, he's small. We may need to enlarge him because he's very, very small compared to this. As you can see, he's a midget. We could have him that size, but it'd be better if he's a little bit bigger so you can actually see. So we'll rotate him around 180 so we can see him. So let's rob him of his manlyhood. So get rid of his helmet. So we don't need the horned helmet. We don't need the smoke particles or the weather or the wolf. So you can get rid of all them. Don't need the arachnid, don't need the bullet spawn point, and don't need the first person shooter camera. Where's his cape? We don't need the cape. To be fair, all we need is the model, so we could just rip the model out of it and delete the character, because it'll save us having to delete all this stuff here. Yeah, so we can add a rigid body back to the main chart, but we'll rename it to gender male. So he's a male gender. And then yes, we are going to make a female in a minute, but not yet. So we'll add a rigid body to him, so component physics rigid body. And shall we have gravity on? Yes, let's have gravity on. We'll make this treadmill trigger as well so he falls through it, because then it'll look more like he's indented, because we won't be seeing it from afar. So it'll look a bit like that, a bit bigger. So we'll add a box collider to him as well, so we can actually click him in the next tutorial. So come to the side, click that, and zoom in. F to focus, so that's what it did like that. So let's increase this box collider. So let's see, Y 4, 5 will do, and X 6, 5. Yeah, 5, 4, 5. What's it on the back? Well, it don't really need to be on the back, but that's fine. So let's drag him up a little bit so we can actually see him fall. And let's play just see if we can see him fall. Tick. There we go. So he positioned himself nicely. Let's have a look. Did it maximize? No, that's good. So we can play with the scales now and see what he looks like in real time. I think 4's a little bit big for our taste. So let's see. Oh, don't you fall over. So I completely forgot what numbers I just set him at. I think it was 2. So let's see. Drag him onto the actual escalator so he's not hitting the wall. Oh, come on. There we go. So let's play. Here, maximise and see what it looks like. we'll obviously move his arms down. So if we have a male there and a female there, we can have our text on the floor here saying something like, click your character. So like choose male or female, so we click him and then move across. Yeah. But what we'll also do is, instead of them, because if we can't pull him down if there's a woman stood there or a man or something, so we'll bring this treadmill forward a little bit. So say 2, 3, that'll do. And then what we can do is put the male on back, and all we can do is just pull him forward a little bit and then move him across, so a little bit of animation there. So 2's good enough, so let's duplicate that and call it female. And sorry for all you women out there who are game makers, which is really cool, because you don't see very many female game makers in here. But yeah, so we will eventually make a female texture, but it's just hard to get make him look like a woman because he is a man. But yeah, we will attempt it. So let's just texture him different for now, just so we know he's a female, else it'll look really weird. Best way to do this, we need to find our civilian models. So we need a hero machine, don't we? Characters, heroes, skins. Oh, we've got another civilian. We can use that. Civilian 02, Civilian 02, Civilian 02 skin. Okay, Civilian 03 skin apparently. Then skin again. And then Civilian 02 IL. And then IR, which is there. And then Civilian 03 there. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's the model we made. That's cool. Yeah, so we've got that now. So if we were to play it, we've got 2 characters. So we can click, say, either him or him. But I'm going to mess with this camera first because this looks awful. So, let's see. Main camera. So if we drag it down a bit so it's in the centre of them. That look like the centre? It'll do. So what we can do is if we come here, drag it up. Now what's it look like? That's better. So now it's more here, like for us. We can put the text above here then, because it looks better. So do you want male or female? Click, click. So let's pull these arms down on these characters because we haven't done that yet. So click, and just like we did for Shao Kahn ages ago, go through his bipes bit till we find his bit here. So click global, so it's globally done. And just put sideways to the back there. And this one same. There we go. So let's do the same for the female one. Bit, pelvis, spine, neck. Alright, so show me your arms. There, and same again, there. There we go. We would make these models naked, but we'll do that another time because that's not the best. But yeah. So if we play it again, just to have a look at it, that looks fine. So we click each model, add a little bit here saying insert your, well, select your body type. So I think that's pretty much done. All we have to do now is move him down and then add the GUI interface in order to spawn different things. So in fact what we will do though is we'll create a sphere and we'll call this object spawn. So when we like spawn a helmet or something like that, we know where to spawn it from, kind of thing. So we'll call this head spawn. Yeah, and we'll just assign it to the top of the character. We'll assign it to both, but yeah, because if our character moves down and if he moves a little bit too far, it'll look messed up. So it'll go to the center pivot of this, don't forget. So if we put this on him like a hat, it should fit perfectly there. We can get rid of the sphere collider and untick the mesh renderer. But yeah, so head spawn, what else do we have? Body spawn. So put that there. What else can we have? Leg spawn. Well, the leg's going to be dual armour, so it'll probably be there to make it more convenient. And then we've also got a cape spawn, haven't we? So if we get, where's body spawn gone? There. And move it back a little bit. The way I put it was up here when I did it. So we'll call this cape spawn. Yeah, that'll do. So what we can do is we just select all these spawns. Spawn. Any more? So now we did more than 4. Head, body, legs. Oh yeah, that'll do. So what we can do is untick mesh renderer and stick it into our, duplicate it first. So we can stick it on the other character. Just so I can see it a minute. So we stick these ones in the female one, and then the other ones in the male one. Like so. That way we've got a nice visual reference for it. We can code straight into it. So next tutorial we'll be making it pop up with a GUI in here saying which character do you want, and when we click it, it'll click it, destroy the other after a time, move him down to the next point so we can carry on building our character, and then we'll get there eventually. So thanks for watching and see you next time.